friends, it's Sophie and welcome back to my channel. If you don't know me, hi, my name is Sophie and I am a second year nursing student heading into this year in 2021. And yeah, basically I've created this account on YouTube just to share my highs, my lows, everything to do with nursing school really, even my tips and tricks and just things I've learned on the way, just so if you guys are maybe new nursing students or if you are nursing students, just to really help you in the process. But yeah, as well as that, I'm hoping just to share my lifestyle, travel and everything like that, what I eat in a day, just all those good YouTube classics, I guess you could say. So yeah, that's what my account is all about, and if you guys are interested in that, you should definitely go hit the subscribe button down below to join the little community. So yeah, basically for this week's video guys, I am doing a everything you need to know before placement as a first year in nursing school. So yeah, basically this video is aimed at just anyone that hasn't done a placement yet, just so I can give you guys some tips and tricks and how to prepare. With this video, I thought it would be easy if I broke it down in 3 different sections just so it's easy to follow along. So basically guys, the 3 different categories I'm going to do is 1 being prior to placement, 2 being how to prepare for placement, number 3 being personally what I think what you should do during placement. Basically at the end of this video, my goal is for you guys to feel more confident into going to placement, maybe some things you should do during placement, prior, if you're just a little bit frazzled. For my first placement, I know I was definitely very nervous. I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know what I should do beforehand. I was very nervous. I know I would have appreciated a video like this, so that's why I thought I would do it for you guys, just to help you guys out. So yeah, I think that's all I need to say to get started with this video. I've just written down everything on my phone, so if I'm looking down, that's just why. But yeah, let's just get to it. But before this video starts guys, remember it's a good day to have a good day. Running fast, never look back. Alrighty, so like I said guys, I'm going to categorize this video into 3 different sections. First one I will talk about is prior to placement. So I have a couple points here. So for the first one, prior to placement, is find the facility and before you go, sort out the parking. So yeah, this is very dependent on where your placement is. For me, I was quite lucky and my first placement was actually only 20 minutes away. So I was able to go to the placement before I actually had it, and I was able to suss out the best way to get there depending on traffic, the car parking situation, like what I need to pay for parking and things like that. But I do definitely recommend this if you are able to do this before placement. I do understand sometimes the placement might be an hour away and that's a bit hard, but if it's close by, I would definitely suggest going to the placement just to make you feel a bit more comfortable because you'll know where it is. And yeah, on the first day, I almost guarantee you're going to be super nervous, so even the little things like knowing where to park will really help you get at ease and not be as anxious. Yeah, that's tip number 1. Go to the facility before your placement so you know what parking's like, just to kind of calm those nerves down a little bit. So yeah, the next point I have under prior to placement is just getting organized. This is very self-explanatory, but it's basically just get prepared. So basically what I mean by this is, so for my university, and I'm sure all of them are the same, you need to actually give all your documents to the facilitator on your first day of orientation. This way they can just go through everything, all your prerequisites, I would call it, pre-requirements actually. Basically your facilitator has to go through all your pre-requirements, so that just being like your CPR, your first aid certificate and everything like that. Just making sure everything's up to date before you actually do start the placement. Basically I'd suggest before your placement, I'd say weeks in advance, just get that all organized, print off everything, put it in a file and just have it ready to go. So on that first day, all you have to do is pick it up and you're ready to go and you won't miss anything, because if you do miss some of the documents, depending on the facility, if you are in a hospital or something, sometimes they won't let you actually go in that day. You'll have to go home and sort out your documents and come back the next day. Yeah, that's just a little tip I'd say, is be prepared and get all your documents all organized as soon as possible. Basically the next tip for prior to placement is pretty much just have goals. I found this super helpful. For my uni, they actually wanted us to write them down so they could read it. But if your uni doesn't want you to do that, I would definitely suggest having goals for placement. So things you want to accomplish and just all things like that, even what you are kind of expecting of placement. I found this super helpful when it came to the end of placement and just reflecting, kind of comparing my goals and if I achieved those, as well as what I expected and what really I saw and what it was really like. Yeah, that's basically it for prior to placement, and now I will just move on to the next section, which is how to prepare. So point one for how to prepare for placement is just basically go over everything you learnt in class. So this is pretty self-explanatory again. So yeah, basically I'm just saying go over everything you learnt in labs, particularly, you know, your assessments, BGLs, everything like that, because you will be expected to do those on placement. Yeah, basically this obviously means just going back and relearning what you've already learnt. So I know it's very easy to forget things you've learnt, so it's basically just going over, even if it's just one day reading over everything, just so you can kind of have it fresh in your head. I think this is super important, obviously, because you're going to be expected to do, you know, neurovascular assessments, cardio assessments, even manual handling and hand hygiene and things like that. So definitely go refresh yourself in all of those areas. So yeah, the next thing I would suggest is also going through your syllabus and basically having a look of what you're expected to complete over the placement. So yeah, basically for most placements you're going to be expected, well, I'd say for all placements actually, you're expected to do a certain amount of tasks and completion of certain different tasks, like I said. This will kind of help you in knowing what to prepare as well. So say if they want you to do a cardiovascular assessment on a resident, but they don't necessarily want to see you do a neurovascular assessment, obviously that means you might want to go ahead and really learn. Sorry about that. Obviously that will then help condense your preparation for placement, because you'll know to really focus on cardio. So yeah, that's just the second point for how to prepare, is actually see what the uni wants to see you do during placement and just kind of going through that. So those two kind of go hand in hand. I'd definitely say they're 100% like essential, because you'll feel so much more confident in knowing what they want to see from you during placement and just knowing you have a good knowledge of everything you learn. Because yeah, if I'm honest, this is probably something I also probably lacked in placement, is that I didn't prepare super well. So when it came to certain tasks, I didn't know exactly what to do, and it probably didn't look the best. Well, I know it didn't look the best. I mean, I know we're all first years and we're still learning, so it's definitely understandable if we don't know everything, because we're definitely not meant to. But yeah, if you can go in as prepared as possible, it would definitely help you out. Yeah, it will just make you look a little bit better, won't it, if you're more prepared, because you'll have a better knowledge of understanding of everything as well. So those are just the 2 points I'd say before placement on how to prepare, really. Alrighty, on to the next one. Okay, so we are now onto the third section, and that is what to do while you're on placement. So what should you actually be looking out for or doing while you're on placement? Yeah, this one I actually have a few points for, just because I feel like I would have liked to know exactly what to kind of look out for on placement. So yeah, let's just get straight to it. So number one I have to do on placement is ask questions. Wow, that was very anticlimactic. You probably knew I was going to say that. But yeah, this one is super important. You got to ask questions on placement, guys. Like, I know it's scary sometimes. Like, you don't want to ask questions because you might think you might seem a little bit dumb. But trust me, they're not going to think you're dumb. You're there to learn. You're a first year. You're not expected to know everything, like I said before. So definitely ask questions, whether that's asking, you know, other nursing friends, so the buddies you're with during placement, asking them, or asking the RN, asking the AINs, asking your nursing facilitator. So really, you just want to ask any questions you have. Definitely ask questions on placement. Number two kind of goes hand in hand with asking questions, and that's pretty much putting yourself out there and ask to do assessments. So this is something I did on placement, and the facilitator actually said I kind of stood out in this way, is that I always asked to do tasks. Basically every day or every second day I'd ask if I can do a different type of assessment on a resident, and she said this was really good, and not many first year nursing students do this because they're quite scared and obviously nervous to do an assessment on a real person, because obviously in labs you're just doing it on mannequins. So she said this was super good to like see from me, so I guess it's a good thing to do. Sorry if my camera just moved, guys. My camera just ran out of charge, so that's great. But we're all good now. So now I'm just going to go on to tip number 3. Not sure if I finished going over the last point, but we'll just move on to the next one, and that's basically Yeah, so for this tip, it's just a little handy thing that I found was quite helpful. It might not be handy for all of you guys, but basically that's just have a clipboard with you. So basically for placement, I took a clipboard with me, and that had everything from my documents to just pieces of paper where I could write heaps of notes on, or practice handovers, or practice ISPA notes if you guys work with that. So yeah, that's just a little side tip I found quite helpful, having a clipboard with me just to help me stay organized and nice and compact, so you're not, you know, carrying around a bag or anything a bit unprofessional. So yeah. Point number 4 is something I didn't really expect to encounter, and that's just basically being able to work with hard or difficult people. So basically going to my placement, I didn't really think of the potential to kind of work with really difficult, you could almost say rude, but I don't really want to, but just kind of difficult people to work with. So I'd say just be very aware that you might be working with people that aren't going to really see you as an equal, and you got to remember they're probably used to having a lot of students come in and out of the hospital or in and out of the facility you're in. For me it was aged care, so you just got to keep that in mind. You could also use it as a good learning opportunity, because obviously as a nurse, you know, we're going to be encountered with a lot of people that maybe don't like us, you know, hard doctors that you know, you hear about doctors being rude to nurses, or, you know, nurses not seeing eye to eye as well. So yeah, with that one, I'm just saying be prepared to encounter some difficult people, and don't be afraid to speak up, but just remember kind of your scope and that you are a student kind of, but definitely don't be a doormat, and you are allowed to go talk to your uni facilitator. Alrighty guys, so now we are on point number 5, and that is my last point for this video, and that point is basically go home and do some research, because I found this super important and super helpful. And that's basically when I finished the day at placement, I had all my notes from that day, because like I said, I took a clipboard and I wrote down a lot of things on that. And what I would do each afternoon or each night of placement is I would do research. So whether that was medications they use and I didn't know what they were, because obviously we're first year, we don't know much, I would look that up, or whether that was a health condition I saw, I looked that up, or whether it was I don't know, a procedure or something I saw, I would go and research that. And I'll definitely say that helped me in learning and taking the most out of my opportunity, I'd say, at placement. Yeah, basically then on the next day when I'd go, I'd have more understanding of maybe that patient and their condition, and then you can kind of look at the medications they're on. You could be like, oh, they're having this medication because they have this condition, and that's why we care for them in this way. Yeah, it's really exciting when everything sort of links together and you can see the big picture for the patient. So I definitely say go home, do some research, and yeah, just doing that, I found that I took the most out of my opportunity at placement. Yeah, overall I feel like I just learnt so much more than if I hadn't have done that, just because I feel like I was taking my own learning in my own hands and learnt more out of it as a result, I guess. Okay, so I think that is it for all my tips. Alrighty guys, that wraps up this video. I just wanted to say again a huge thank you if you made it to the end of this video. It really means so much to me. Yeah, I hope this video, guys, have given you some more confidence in going into your placement. Honestly, try not get too stressed out about it. I know it's hard to, but you honestly have got this, and it's not as bad as you might think. I know it's very nerve-wracking, the new environment, and you know, you're kind of the bottom of the food chain kind of thing, but you have honestly got this. I believe in you guys so much. And yeah, if you liked this video, guys, definitely give it a big thumbs up, and comment down below any video suggestions you guys might have, or if this might have helped some of you, let me know. Definitely subscribe as well if you guys did like this video, because I have so many videos planned coming up, and I'm so excited. Yeah, specifically the video I'm going to upload next week, I'm really excited about. I'm also going to be mentioning something that I've been working on for a little while now, so if you're keen into finding out what that is all about, definitely subscribe so you don't miss next week's video. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!